All right, welcome to the second edition of Main Event Wrestling. I'm your host, Mr. Main Event Wrestling, and let's start off this episode by talking about last night's Raw. Raw was not particularly good. It was kind of boring, and the highlights pretty much are uh, Daniel Bryan is stripped of the WWE World Heavyweight title because he is unable to compete at Money in the Bank, and with that, yeah, he shouldn't be holding on to the title when he hasn't been able to defend it for two straight pay-per-views, because you can't have your champion not defending his title on two straight pay-per-views and keep the title. That's just not good business. So it's going to be up for grabs in one of the apparently planned two, but not confirmed two Money in the Bank ladder matches. And the next highlight is, speaking of Money in the Bank, Sheamus qualifies for Money in the Bank over Barrett. I don't particularly agree with that. I like Barrett. I would have liked to see Barrett in the match. Sheamus has not had particularly great showings in Money in the Bank in the past, in my opinion. Then what's next? Usos against Fandango and Damian Sandow, which that was the low light, because what are they doing with Sandow? I mean, it's ridiculous how in a year's time he went from being groomed to be a future World Heavyweight Champion with the Money in the Bank briefcase to being a comedy act, fucking interpretive dancer, Magneto, just whatever WWE can do to make him look stupid. And I just don't get that. Just intellectual savior of the masses to nothing. And then Cesaro qualified for Money in the Bank over Rob Van Dam, which is good. I like how RVD is coming in, putting over the talent, giving back to the business that gave him so much. And I like the fact that Cesaro's in there. I'd like to see him pull maybe a neutralizer off a ladder. I think that'd be a fun spot if it's safe enough and someone's willing to take it. The Shield, they cut a good promo on their former partner, Seth Rollins. And then Seth Rollins come back and cuts a good promo on them. And I'm looking forward to seeing them feud with each other, because that's going to be fun. Because I think with how much they've worked well as a team, they'll work well as opponents. And I'd really like to see them all go against each other in a triple threat match. I think that would be match of the decade material. That's how much I think those three would click in a triple threat match. And then we get to the main event with Cena teaming with the Shield against the Wyatts. And apparently Cena came in this match with an eye injury that he suffered over the weekend at a house show. And WWE instructed their cameramen to not focus in on it, because apparently it's still swollen, but Sunday, apparently it was swollen shut, which, that's pretty bad. That could be broken orbital bone right there. Ugh, can't talk. And then Shield and Cena get the win with Reigns pinning, I think, Harper? Might be wrong. But apparently Ambrose came out of that with a cut on his chin. I didn't notice that. Usually I notice those. Apparently he needed like 9 stitches. What else? TNA. They're in some hot water with their championship storyline, because they filmed something like a month or maybe even a month and a half of shows in about the span of a week. So they had it all set up to go up until their upcoming pay-per-view, which I believe is Slammiversary. And Eric Young is set to defend the title against MVP, but there's a problem. MVP is a knee injury and is possibly not able to compete. And they don't have TV time to film to get a storyline where he's out of the picture. So unless they do something in post-production, they're going to have to do something live at the pay-per-view, which will not make fans happy who bought the pay-per-view to see Eric Young versus MVP. What else? Apparently a studio working on the behalf of WWE called a casting call for orchestra members to play Sting-like characters, and then someone who is literally a Sting lookalike, someone who's tall with the long dark hair, buff, to don they're all going to don the face paint, but the guy who looks like him is going to get paid more. But apparently from that, it's not for incoming Sting. It's for his DVD and for stock footage if they ever need anything using Sting. But that got the internet going for a bit. People thinking Sting was going to be coming in soon, possibly for a SummerSlam match, but apparently he's not. And I'm not against that. I think Sting should be waiting until WrestleMania to come in. Make a big impact when he returns. Don't make a small impact. And speaking of SummerSlam, apparently Brock Lesnar is still thought to be facing Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam if everything goes well and Bryan's able to compete at the pay-per-view after Money in the Bank. And so if that's true, I would think that Bryan would get the title back, if not immediately after Money in the Bank, very soon after, to go into this program with Lesnar. And I would only see a possibility of Lesnar coming out and winning, because since he broke the streak, which, agree with it, disagree with it, it pretty much means he should have the title sometime before WrestleMania, because why are you going to have someone beat the most vaunted streak in the history of wrestling? You can take Goldberg's 170 whatever and 0, nothing compared to 21-0 at WrestleMania until Brock Lesnar beat him. But if they're going to give him money, or if he's going to willingly go and work a full-time schedule, then yeah, give him the title, have Lesnar tear it up for months until WrestleMania comes around, and then have him drop it to Reigns or Cesaro or someone, just some up-and-comer that would get a good rub off beating Lesnar. And WWE needs competition, to me, because these lull periods are a direct circumstance of there being no real competition in the wrestling business, because all you TNA marks out there are going to say, oh, what about TNA? No. When you can't draw one ratings, you're not competition at all. When you blatantly rip off WWE, you're not competition. Now, I don't have ill will towards TNA. I'd love to see TNA dig itself out of this hole and epically succeed and give WWE a giant run for their money. But I just don't see it happening, because I don't think they have it in them anymore. I don't think they've ever had it in them, because they just keep failing at every turn to do anything different. If they want to be successful do something different. Don't do things that have been done 1,000 times. Don't have the babyface authority figure turn heel and go after the title. That's been done to death. But I digress. What else? 3MB. I don't like them. They're on TV a lot. I don't like that they're on TV a lot because it just reminds me of how much one of my favorite talents from a few years ago is being utterly misused. Drew McIntyre was being polished and poised to be possibly one of the biggest heels in the company, and they had Vince McMahon come out on TV and say, he is the chosen one, he is a future champion, this is the guy, this is who is going to be the future. And he had it all. To me, he had good in-ring skills, good mic skills. That finisher he has, the Future Shock, is really good. It looks like it could just knock you right out. But they have him in a comedy faux rock band stable with fucking Hornswoggle. Now, I don't understand that at all. How does his ex-wife beating the crap out of him in a hotel lobby make it so that they can't push him and that he needs to be punished for the rest of his career and demoted from being rising star to shit? Because that's what they are, is shit. Now, I know there always has to be the mid-card comedy acts, apparently, in WWE. That's why fucking Santino's still there. But I don't understand why they waste good talent in those roles. The 2/3 of 3MB should be single stars. I think Heath Slater could be a really good wrestler, really good heel, if they would just give him a chance and take him at least semi-seriously. But it looks like both McIntyre and Slater are not going to be anything, at least anytime soon, in WWE. And unless something changes, not going to be anything in their WWE careers. Which, if I were them, I would desperately wait for my contract to run out and go and sign with Jeff Jarrett's promotion, because Jeff Jarrett has a good mind for the business. I think he will be successful. I don't know if he'll be WWE competition level successful, but I think he'll be successful. And I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing Global Force Wrestling on TV sometime soon-ish. But I know getting on TV takes a lot, putting together a talent base, getting arena contracts, getting rings made, getting logos made, getting music made, getting all the things made needed to put on a good wrestling show. And alright, that'll about do it. Hit that subscribe button if you liked, hit that like button if you like, and comment with your questions. I didn't get any comments with questions. So if you want to hear more, comment with your questions. I will answer any and all questions I get in either my inbox or YouTube comments. So until next time, I will see you later.